Hello and welcome to. Oh no! I've absolutely fluffed it. What I was about to say is welcome to Claret Blue. We've not done anything for a few days, and you can absolutely tell. This is our first recording since last Wednesday. I think we did the episode of Villa players that we should go after, who should we sign, etc. I think that went out on Thursday or Friday. We've not done anything since. We haven't spoken much either, John, and you can absolutely tell. So this is our live episode on Monday, the 15th of June, 12:50 as we start this, and we're going to do 45 minutes or so answering some questions from the mailbag as I slowly get back up to speed. John, how's things?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. I'm gonna.
You're gonna fluff your first line as well?
I'm not gonna say any big words.
Ridiculous.
I'm good. I just think this all feels really weird at the moment because
we're in limbo.
Yeah, we are. We're in limbo, all right. Yeah, season's obviously finished. Nearly a month ago now, and it's a long way. It's a long way until the start of the new season. I say that one of my favourite videos of the year. We'll do that next week. Do you know what that is?
Fixture release date.
Yep.
Yeah. This Friday, isn't it? This Friday.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm so out of it, honestly. Yeah, it's later this week in a matter of days. So that'll get me going. But yeah, I'm all right, mate. I'm plodding along, really. Back at work, but obviously pretty thin on the ground at the moment. So, mid-June, I think you get to July, things will start to heat up a bit, and that's where we're at. So I'm good, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah, a couple of things. I'll come back to the fixture release thing in a second. I'm going to blame my stunted intro on the fact I didn't get back home till last night about 11:30 from the hospital because Wilf stuck a googly eye up his nose. So that was that was good fun.
Was that what it was? A googly eye? I didn't actually ask what it was when you told me. I assumed it was a bit of Lego or something.
No, it was a googly eye. So Forky from Toy Story, the plastic fork that's got a face on. Anyway, it doesn't matter. No. He was making one of those. He was with his my wife's mom. She left him for like 10 seconds, gave him 2 googly eyes for the eyes, came back, only 1 googly eye. Where's it gone? Oh, I don't know. Oh, well. I haven't put it on my nose. Okay, so you have then. Two different hospitals. Eventually got it out. He always does that. If he says anything unprompted, if I don't want whatever, like he'll just be playing and he'll go, I don't want to poo. It's like, okay, so you do need one then, right? That was a long old night for him and for us as well. So we got back. All's fine now, obviously. Which brings me on nicely to fixture release date and Toy Story. We're going to watch the new Toy Story film on Friday. So I don't know when this podcast is going to happen, mate.
You're joking. You're ditching me for that. Hold on.
What do you mean? That's clearly the priority.
Yeah, not working. So... All right, we're just a bit of an emergency here. So I think it happens at 10 a.m. this year.
Oh, is it 10 this year?
I think it's 10, which, by the way...
I don't think we're going to be able to do it.
Which, by the way, is stupid.
It's normally 9.
It's usually 7. Like, they get leaked straight away. Not from me. Yeah. Not from me. We obviously get them early.
We'll get them early, but we can't talk about them till 9 usually.
I genuinely don't say to like people who ask for them or whatever. I don't. But 10 a.m. is like people are going to know it by then because you see some accounts that will say like, heard it's I was about to say West Ham. It's not West Ham. Heard it's Ipswich, and it's like, yeah, it is. So what I tend to do is I like to look at the little patterns, and I must say that last year I think I mentioned that from Boxing Day to the end of the season, we have a terrible run of away games, basically half the year. And I don't think we did very well away from home in the final, second half of the season. So I think I was right, to be fair. But we did beat Chelsea. We did beat Newcastle, didn't we? Is that it? And obviously City on the final day. I don't think we did win any other away games. I'm not too sure.
Don't think so. Complete top of my head stuff here. I always say, we play everyone twice, home and away. But
you're right.
You're also right to point out that, March looks difficult because of blah, blah, blah. But then we'd have looked at months this time last year where like a Sunderland would have been in it. And thought, oh, well, that'll be easy. And you go on to the season and it's not because they perform better than whatever you think. So
yeah.
We had, I can't remember.
Basically the easiest first 5 games of the season.
There you go, exactly. Yeah. And we just said Liverpool and City, well, obviously we'll lose both of them. Hopefully the season's done by then and we end up beating them both and winning a trophy. So it is kind of pointless really trying to
it was before a Europa League away, which was Fenerbahce, and you just thought, we got no chance, and we won both, kept clean sheets and both. So
so we've kind of debunked a reason to do this video Friday, to be honest.
No. I just enjoy it. I love to look at different, like, I love my permutations, some of my fixtures and stuff, like, saying, this will be difficult, and then it turns out not to be. But so I enjoy it. If I have to do it on my own, I probably won't do it on my own. But come on, we have to do something on it.
Well, I was thinking, because we're going to the showing that's like 11:30 as well.
So I'm a bit confused here. You're watching Toy Story in the morning, right?
Yeah, it's like 11:30. Yeah.
So what do you have? Do you have anything like popcorn or anything?
We'll take some like bit of kids snacks or whatever. Yeah.
But you can't, can you? If it's in the, I'm not trying to get you in trouble.
You can't you? Everyone takes their own stuff in underneath the jumper or something.
Fair enough.
So I was thinking, and this is the planning meeting now. I thought, well, the fixtures come out at 9. So if we do a video at like 15:15, I've probably got 20 minutes, half an hour. But if the fixtures come out at 10, I'm not going to have to do it, genuinely.
Well, we can do them earlier because we know what they are. So,
well, that's true. Okay, podcast at 7 a.m. then.
Trying to bring you back into this.
We normally do it live, though, don't we? That's what we've done.
Yeah,
before.
We do, but there's no reaction to it. There's no reaction. We could do that, We could try and do it like a reaction video, so we both see them at the same time, sort of thing.
Oh. Yeah, that'd be good.
Something like that. I'll be bleary-eyed, but I'll have a bit of work to do. But I reckon I can sort it because it's not a reaction, is it? When we do it at 10, like we know what they are.
And so does everyone else either. So why don't we get up, agree to jump on a podcast like this, go
do it fresh.
Bloody hell, we've got at the Etihad on the opening day or whatever.
Yeah,
I'll then cut that down and then we'll release it at 10.
Yeah. Okay. I think that's the right thing to do.
We'll do that then instead. So there will be a video Friday. I actually was like trying to plan what we do this week and forgot all about fixture release dates. I'm glad you remembered.
Should we start the podcast?
Yeah, should we go live? Oh, we are live. Afternoon to Ollie Furious Badger. Good morning from Albuquerque, Stephen. Thank you very much. Afternoon. Are we afternoon now? We are. It's 1:00. Good evening from Melbourne, says JD Villa, the Villa. Real Villa says, Dan, have you rewatched Toy Story 3 since you had a child? I promise you'll bawl your eyes out. I've watched Toy Story 3 multiple times since having a child.
Is that the one with the big bear?
That is the one with with Lotso, is it? Lotso Bear, when they go off to the nursery. Yeah,
the only one that I watched was the guy who, or like the kid who, like, he was a bit of a freak and he was like in the neighbour's garden and he was like making all these weird toys.
Yeah, that's the first one.
So okay. I'll watch the original then.
That was released in 95. Fun fact, same year I was
really
born. Yeah. Wow. And I always think the animation's actually pretty good, but then you watch the new ones and it's clearly not as good as it is these days.
It's about technology now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's funny. They're all good films, to be fair. Even the fourth one, which I didn't really enjoy that much. I've watched that a couple of times since. It's all right, but the first couple are the best. Anyway, should we talk about Villa? Welcome to the Toy Story podcast. If anything ever goes tits up with this job, I'll just start that instead. Right, let's go into the mailbag, shall we? The first one, classic, and we've not had it for a while. No name. With a healthy team, could Tielemans play in the 10 if Rodgers leaves? Nana and Kamara behind him, or even keep Kamara further back and have a Nana and Tielemans in front of him, like Kroos, Modric, Casemiro, or Iniesta, Xavi, Busquets? Then we can spend our money on attack and young squad talents rather than a attacking midfielder, specifically who can learn from our current squad. And we've spoken about Tielemans in the 10 before, and absolutely he can do it. Is that what you think we'll do?
It's certainly an option. I think that's one thing to say, that we like to have midfield, or Emery likes to have midfielders who can cover multiple roles, right? And this is why I did a piece the other day basically explaining what would be like my dream window, or what would I think that would be acceptable. I'm struggling a little bit with replacing Rodgers as a player in the 10. We obviously know we need a winger, whether Rodgers stays or goes, because we've lost Sancho. And we needed one before him anyway, to be honest. So a right winger is obviously paramount. You need that. And then you have McGinn and a winger who can play on the right, McGinn who can play in the 10, and also Tielemans who can play in the 10. So if Rodgers goes, you in theory have enough there. On the left, for me, we need more as well. You have Buendia and McGinn could play there too, but also I want another one. So really, I want two wingers now, whether Rodgers stays or goes. If Rodgers goes, then for me, you need to replace him with a 10. So, not Asensio, but a player like Asensio. And it's interesting that we were looking at midfielders in January. So obviously that was partly because of Tielemans' injury. But I wouldn't advise that we would spend money on James Garner or on Bergvall had only be because of Tielemans' injury, because he's only out for a space of weeks. And Luis didn't play like that well and was out the team afterwards. So he did his bit, right, Luis, for a little bit, and that's what we needed. But I wonder, what if it's difficult because this is basically hinging on selling Rodgers, and I'm only talking about that because it's a possibility and makes a pretty short podcast if we just say Rodgers stays, okay, we need two wingers done. But if Rodgers was to go, I'd be interested to see if we went back in for Bergvall, because then I think it opens up the door to, okay, you have Onana and Kamara, you have Bogard as well, you have Lindelof who can also play those positions, Bergvall too, McGinn too, Tielemans too, but specifically those last three players could all also play in the 10 with two wingers and Watkins. I don't know. It's certainly depth and a
different
lot of it.
As well.
We've got Barkley there as well. So, yeah, and also enough space in the squad to do that. If Rodgers was to go, you've still got space to bring in two wingers and a 10, and that's three players in those four positions. So I do think that there could be a bit more business than maybe some others.
Still as well for you.
But, yeah. So if I just go through it quickly, so if Rodgers goes, Buendia and McGinn are in across those three roles, plus another two wingers. So you essentially have, what would that be, four players who can play across those three positions, plus you have Tielemans who can play there as well. So it's all, fitting the piece together for when you have injuries or suspensions or when you have 2 games in a week. Like, we need that. It's not excessive for me. So I think, yeah, Rodgers goes, if then you need 3 players to come into that forward line or supportive line. But then also you're looking at, well, you need a new right back. You're probably going to need a new goalkeeper. What's going to happen with a player like Maatsen, like we've discussed before? Will there be a suitable offer? If there is, then he would probably go. What if Mings gets an offer from another Premier League club? So I do think there might be some more business than what maybe others would suggest. But at the same time, that hinges on sales. If Rodgers stays, then it's very, very different because we have limited flexibility.
Yeah. Okay. One from the live chat, Lot Young 1 says, non-negotiable John Townley, who must stay at Villa?
Not me. Non-negotiable John Townley, you must stay at Villa. I wish. That actually brings me on to, I had a cracking afternoon yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah, because this is like a...
This could be anything, by the way.
This is... yeah, no, it's not that exciting.
To the tip.
Yeah. No, I spotted an area where I can basically play football by myself and there's a goal there. And that might sound like a very small thing, but for me, that's huge. Like, that's what that does to my mental health and just for me physically. It's so good, Dan. I don't know if you understand, but yeah, I'm a man of like small things, but then a field with a goal in it, that's all I need. Like, that's everything for me. And it's only a short drive away from where I live as well. So I found that and I was absolutely delighted.
Okay. Question straight away. How often are you playing football by yourself?
It could be most days now or every day. Now that I found that, yeah, because what I struggled before, because obviously our job is quite unsociable, and obviously it's unsociable in the hours that we do because it's weekend work. It's after my 9 to 5 as such. I'm either doing a podcast or I don't know, watching football. So it means that I can't play, and even if it was 5-a-side, I'm away from where my like close mates live and stuff, and I'm not really one to just join a 5-a-side team or whatever without knowing them. And I really miss playing football.
Thought, that is.
What?
The thought of going to a 5-a-side and playing with people I don't know fills me with all kinds of dread.
I wouldn't mind it but it's kind of just starting up because I can't commit to it, if that makes sense. Like, because of work, because of following Villa, because of going into Europe and stuff. I don't like to sort of do something or join something and then be like, oh, I can't play for 2 weeks or whatever. So now that I found this, I'm like genuinely just delighted, and I'm really happy about it.
Okay, more questions. Can you send me pictures the next time you go, /video that we can use in the podcast? Yeah, picture me now.
Don't want to like show it, and then people Oh, they wouldn't know where it is anyway. But
people swarm to your undisclosed location, and it's not lonely anymore.
Yeah. Can I show that? There's a house in the background. I think that's fine.
You're not trespassing, are you, or anything?
Let me. No, it's like a public footpath.
Okay.
I'll just crop the. I mean, this is literally grass and a football goal, Dan, so it's not that exciting, but for the sake of it. I could just show it to the camera here. I don't know why I've sent it to you for.
Oh, you sent it to me? I thought you were just going to show the camera, yeah. So now I'm going to have to show the camera. Brilliant. That was a waste of 30 seconds. Thanks, John.
But I'm really happy with it.
I'll be honest, this looks like Google.
No, there's a video of it. I'm not going to show the video, but I showed it to my mates, and I basically said, like, there's nothing else that I want to do than walk around a corner and find this. My
next question is the same as Anana's biscuits. He says, how can you play football on your own? What are you doing? Are you just blasting it into that empty goal and then going to retrieve it, and there's no nets?
Precisely that.
Yeah.
Just run around. Like I was always good at cardio at school. Like I hate doing this thing where you sort of say what, but I really didn't like it though. And it's something that I want to do again and sort of get back to my physical levels of where I was previously. So, man, this is really indulgent. But this is like I could run across a football pitch and just dribble, boot with the ball in the air and whatever. Like I'm happy to do that for as long as my body can take it. I really enjoy it.
I like it. There's a childlike innocence to that.
Yeah. And actually. This is a 4-year-old came up to me wearing a Villa shirt when I was playing yesterday. Really? Yeah, I would give him a shout out, but it sounds weird. So
there's no parent there.
Well, I said to him straight, I was like, "Where are your parents?" And he was like, "They're in the club because there's like a sports club like near it." And I was like, "Okay." And he started saying, "You need to play with me, like play football." And so I was like, "Right." So I was like kicking with him, and he said, "Like, I'm going to tackle you now." And I was like, "No, I can't do that. We're not doing that." So I was like. But he was
excellent.
He's just a young kid wearing a Villa shirt, and I was gonna say like, I speak to Emery every week, but I don't think he's there yet. He was like 4 or 5 years said so. Yeah, and then I said because he had like I said, can you like take him away?
Call the police. Okay, this is the last point on this because we must move on. I've still got questions. Were you wearing Villa shorts as well?
No,
did you recognise you from the podcast?
No, that's the point. He's far too young. Well, there's a social media ban now, so even in 5 years, he wouldn't be able to go on social media. No, I was just on my own.
Just a coincidence that you wearing Villa.
It's it's like if I was 6 years old or whatever, I'd definitely go up to someone kicking a ball as well and say like, I want to play now.
He didn't say, it's John Townley from the podcast. Can we play together?
No, he said, are you walking home? And I said, no. And then he said, where are your parents? And I said, well, not here. And then he said, well, how did you get here? And I said, I drove. And he said, how do you drive? Lots of questions.
Excellent. All right, we're going to move on. JD says, I want to get back to my physical levels. That sounds like someone preparing for the Tanswell fight.
we had a good chat about that actually on WhatsApp the other night, which made me laugh. And Bardell's video when he was explaining this, he was really serious about it. Like I rated how like on here, if we're asking a question, we're laughing like here, laughing teeth. Bardell thought, no, I'm going to go like bang. So Jacob does this, John does this. It's just like, chill out.
I love it. Okay, right. Let's go into these more questions then from the mailbag. We've got Paul McGrath's knees who said, just wondering if John is going out to Hong Kong for the Bayern Munich friendly and whether, if he is, has he started planning his meals yet?
No, I don't know, to be honest, yet. Difficult one, really, because I think we could probably do it. But I mean, the issue is, and it's kind of a pit behind the curtain, it's not an issue, really. But obviously, for us to go out there, we need to have things organised in terms of, for example, last year I did a few interviews and had some good access. We got an interview with McGinn, which was really good. And the games were organised by now. So Villa, I mean, they haven't said the other matches that they're playing over there. So obviously needs to be worth the while going. So I might speak to the club and see if we can do anything, basically. But as it stands, no. I'll be going to the Super Cup though, which is obviously great. But yeah, I mean, it's difficult in a World Cup year as well, or a Euros year, because obviously some of Villa's main players aren't. Yeah. I don't know when they'd be going to Hong Kong. If they go to Hong Kong, I'd like to think they'd definitely be there for the Super Cup, the Villa players. But whether they're playing that Bayern Munich game, I don't know. But if they're not there, then it's, again, you want it to be a kind of the most ideal situation possible, should we say, when you're obviously paying money to go out there.
Yeah. I think you'd be all right with the food over there, wouldn't you?
I haven't got a clue, to be honest. I think they do rice. That's half of what I want.
Yeah, seafood.
That'd be fine. Yeah. It's mainly the language, because whenever I followed Villa in Europe, they don't speak English. No, whenever I've followed Villa abroad, like for pre-season, it's only been America, and obviously that's fine because I understand everything. Going to Hong Kong might be a bit of a challenge, and there might be a lot of funny stories, to be fair, but that's not the purpose of why I would go.
A lot of Google Translate. Yeah. Steve Stone's bald head says, the PSR jigsaw puzzle with regards to buying and selling players that Villa are currently going through would actually be quite fun if everyone else was in the same boat or it was a level playing field. Thoughts? I actually agree with this, and something we've spoken about before. I don't mind the rules, full stop. They're a bit irritating. But the main annoyance is that it doesn't feel like the rules are equally spread across the teams, right? It feels like Villa are judged differently almost, which is not the case. But do you know what I mean? Man United can and will spend loads of money because their revenue is high. Okay, well, that's in the rules. But other teams can't do that. So it feels like we're at a disadvantage just because of who we are. So if everyone we've said, if everyone can only spend 50 million and that's it, to work out how to spend that more efficiently than the other 19 teams, yeah, it's quite exciting.
Yeah, I understand it.
You don't sound convinced.
No, I don't know, rules and transfers and stuff. Like I've said this before, and I'll say it again. It's obviously frustrating, but I'm not angry. Well, I'm a bit angry about it, but I'm not livid, because I know that we'll be fine as long as we have Unai.
Yeah.
If we didn't have Unai, I think I'd be doing something on it every single day. I just think that for us is that is the difference. So I know that for as long as we have him, we'll be competitive and we'll be probably in European competition every year. And for me, that's fine. Can we do more? Could we challenge for a title and all that? Those different things. Yeah, possibly so. But I understand the point of linking it to revenue. I get it, but the issue is that how do I explain this? Obviously, clubs can spend what they earn, and understandable. But I guess it's how do you put in a system where clubs can be ambitious and can spend. I don't know, and have proof that they're not going to put the club under or whatever. Like Man United, how much debt are they in? So I'm not going to go over old ground. We know it all already. If there's a different rule that made it fairer for everyone, unfortunately, I don't think that would pass through, because that's not the point. We need to wake up and understand that the big six are powerful and the owners who own them. Again, Super League, they literally try to put English football in the bin. And what do they get for it? I haven't even got a clue. No one knows. They should have had relegation. They should have had all sorts. They should have had the book thrown at them, and they didn't get any of that. So nothing surprises me anymore. This is what it is, unfortunately. And we're just going to have to get on with it, because come the day that Villa get fair financial rules and they can compete like other clubs, sorry, I just don't envisage it. We're just going to have to battle against it, and that's what it is. Until our revenue grows, unfortunately.
Yeah. Okay. A way to grow revenue might be naming rights for Villa Park, asks Keith. What are your thoughts on doing this? If it gave us more spending power, it would always be Villa Park regardless. I think that's more palatable than moving stadium, isn't it?
Oh, God, yeah. The moving stadium debate hasn't really come up, I don't think, for a while. Unless I've missed something.
This isn't it when we're doing the North Stand?
Yeah,
clearly not moving anytime soon.
Yeah, I guess that's that's why. Naming rights, fine by me. I don't really see a problem with it. My only issue is if it would be plastered everywhere in the stadium and it becomes like a mini, I don't know, like advertising board. But
that would be part of it, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but when I say everywhere, I mean like Sports Direct at St James's. That was hideous. Like the whole thing just became like a big shop. But yeah, it was part of it. But there'd be, I don't know, like Hill Dickinson, for example. You can see it, but nothing more than that. It's not like everywhere. And so, yeah, fine by me. If it raises our revenue, then okay. It's not something that I think would be too invasive. I guess it's just the money that we make, we need to spend correctly though still, because there's two issues for us. Firstly, it's the rules, but then it is recruitment. If you gave Villa, £100 million free to spend, I assume we'd probably spend it on two players worth 50 million, for argument's sake. Will they be the right players to take to the next level? I don't know. Like, obviously, you'd rather have the have the knowledge of knowing and doing it and trying, because the issue is that we can't do that. Like when I was talking about Sesko and that being the thing that really annoys me, because it's not just that they spent £70 million on a striker, it's they spent that to replace a £70 million striker that flopped. So we can't make those big risks and we can't get them wrong. That's the frustration. But even if Villa did have all of that freedom, it doesn't mean that you just become a better team. Look at Liverpool. All the money that they spent and we finished above them. So I think for us, we have a great manager. Everything is in place in the club, the culture, everything is there. But my argument would also be that, okay, well, if you then gave us a free checkbook to spend what we like, does the culture then change? Does it become watered down? Do we spend it on the right players? What happens when we don't? Does that unsettle the dressing room? I think there's a lot to be said for how we've, or the kind of ingredients that it's taken for us to win the Europa League and to finish in the top 4 2 seasons out of 3. And it's having a lot of players who have bought into Emery's project and his way of playing, and also that again builds that culture. We don't we trade, but the players who have been here for a long time, Watkins, Cash, Mings, McGinn, even like Kamara now, all of those players have stayed. Martinez too up until now. So yeah, I put it this way. I think if we spent £200 million every single summer, does that mean that we get better than where we are now? I genuinely don't think it does give us a free right to do that. I really don't. But obviously, I think as fans, we'd rather just have the opportunity.
Just on the naming rights, which is where that question started, are there any more names that, I'm not asking you for a company name here, but would some be more palatable than others as well? And it would always be Villa Park. If we said, we're going to Villa Park on Tuesday to do some filming, it wouldn't be, we're going to the Adidas Arena on Tuesday, if that's what it was. It'd still be Villa Park, right?
Yeah. Of course, I can't name companies that I wouldn't want Villa to be associated with because there's probably a legal risk in there for us. But yeah, I think we all know that that's a thing.
I do think there's some as well where, like you mentioned the Hill Dickinson, which is obviously a branded name or whatever, but it doesn't sound like one because it's not a household name. Is it a legal lawyer firm or something?
Yeah, I think so. But I guess for them it was more because it's a new stadium. You can't call that Goodison Park because it's not. For them, they were always going to win that name because what do you call it? The Everton Stadium. I mean, yeah, like in passing, I suppose. Like where were you? But the Hill Dicko or Hill Dickinson, like you have to call it that. So I think that was a good deal for them. Whereas Villa Park, anyone who comes and names Villa Park, it's similar sort of argument to what I've said about the front of shirt. You've kind of passed the big moment, if that makes sense. Like if you're a company that sponsors Villa Park, like okay, but everyone will in passing will call it Villa Park. The only place you'll see it is on maybe articles or on Sky Sports or whatever, I don't know. And it's the same for the front of shirt in a way of, I think a lot of people have already bought the shirt. They don't want to put the company's logo on it because usually it ruins it unless it's a good one. But I don't know, like, can you get a good shirt sponsor? I'm not sure. I think everyone would rather a cleaner version. So yeah, I mean, we have what Sports Illustrated is it for the warehouse? It's the club shop and then somewhere else, like in the North Ground. So yeah, the club are obviously trying to do different bits and bobs. No training ground sponsors of now. The training leisure wear or training wear, sorry, that we had El Gona, was it? El Gona?
Yeah.
For I think that stopped at the end of last season, or at least that was.
It's not on this.
No, and that was when I remember talking about it. I don't know, maybe February or March time, and it was said that this was only a until the end of the season thing, which surprised me. I didn't really understand that. There must be a reason, but
someone else coming in maybe.
I don't know. It felt like a bit of a obvious thing to do, though, didn't it? Obviously, in terms of how it linked with Nassef, but yeah.
Okay, let's move on. Trivia question from PDX Villa, and I think you'll get this straight away because even I know it. A current World Cup player wore the number 7 shirt for Villa before it was given to John McGinn. Who was it?
So a current World Cup player was given...
Wore the number 7 for Villa.
Yeah, Bacuna.
Yeah, Leandro Bacuna. I saw a picture of him from the FIFA photo shoots that they do for every team. It looks different to when he was here. He's got different hair, different look, yeah.
It's mad that he's still... I know it's like respect to Curacao, respect to Preston, but like Bacuna playing in 2026 in a World Cup, I don't get what
it is, isn't it? So I've got no. If you said to me how old was he when he joined Villa, I wouldn't have a clue because I don't know how old he is now.
I mean, he must have been like 21 or 22.
Yeah,
must have been. But when he joined Villa in 2013, was it, or 2013-14? Was it Groningen?
I think so. Yeah,
It was Groningen.
Shout.
Van Dijk's club as well, I think. It didn't, in my head anyway, didn't register as always like a really young prospect or whatever, I think. But obviously he was younger.
He's 34 now, so he'd have been 24 then.
I thought he'd be
20,
older than that.
yeah.
It's mad. But I don't know, like back there, I don't want to sort of give him any way out here because he wasn't great towards the back end of his Villa career, but he was all right when he first joined.
Scored a few free kicks, didn't he?
Or was that Man City goal just clouding my...
Yeah, maybe. I mean,
I don't know.
So
like,
terrible
I don't.
Back then, weren't
we weren't great, but also we weren't 15-16 bad, were we? We
No,
were
no,
under
no.
Lamb, but like what 16th, 15th. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
Like I don't remember him being hideous. Like he wasn't really bad, but then he got really bad, and then he sort of lost out with the fans and said he wanted to play in the Champions League, didn't he? And if he said he wanted to play in a World Cup, then
if only he'd have stayed, he'd have got his wish eventually. He played for a couple of English teams after, and he went to Cardiff and someone else, can't remember.
Yeah, his brother obviously played for Blues as well.
Yeah. Janino, is it? Something like that? Janino. Yeah. Poor footballer by the end of it, obviously. But the relegation season taints everyone, but I don't think he was particularly great before that.
But you've got players in a relegation season who still kind of, do you
remember?
Well, not many, but...
I think this was the relegation season. I'm sure it was him, unless I'm mixing up another terrible footballer. Do you remember the cross-field back pass we did that went out for a corner?
Yeah.
Was that him?
I can't quite remember. To be honest, mate, it was
maybe.
Probably a few. I remember there was a game against Sunderland.
Booted it out for a corner from our own half or something.
Was it not the Sunderland game? Something happened in the Sunderland game where we lost 3-1, but Carles Hill scored one of the best goals we've ever scored when Adama ran. But in that game, I think it was Alex Sissoko just threw the ball to one of their players to score, and it was just like, whoa, this is. I think that was one of the lowest points we've had in the Premier League era. That Sunderland game, like Liverpool was bad, but that Sunderland game specifically was like just shocking.
Oh, it's terrible. How mad is it? I don't know. I mean, 10 years is quite a long time generally, and in football, obviously. Yeah. But the fact that there's still some players that are still active makes it feel like it wasn't that long ago. But like, how much has changed between then and now is staggering.
Oh yeah. And that's a little bit like not scary, but 10 years from now, like I thought about this yesterday when I was watering my some plants outside. I thought like 10 years ago is a long time. 10 years ago from now, I hate to say it, but like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, are we gonna sustain this? I really hope we do. But so much has happened in the last 10 years that don't take this literally, but we in theory we could go down and come back up again, and it'd be like because that's happened, though, So
yeah, of course, yeah. John Townley tips relegation for Aston Villa. Next headline. Let's while we're talking about playing football by ourselves, watering plants, let's talk about cooking as well. Gordon Ramsay writes in and says, if you, John, had to personally cook Unai Emery one meal to secure him as manager until he retires, you must impress him. What would you cook him? If you fail to impress him with your dish, Unai walks and Steven Gerrard gets appointed for the next 10 years. Oh, what a 10 years that would be. So all this pressure on one dish. I know you like your cooking. You've often told us before you like your chopping of your veggies and all that.
I'm giving you some advice tonight over the weekend about how to brown mince.
Yeah. It's not a euphemism.
How is that a euphemism?
I don't know. I like saying that to random things just to put people on the spot. I do cooking, by the way. Like I'm not like a complete novice, but I did some pork mince that looked a little bit
watery,
worse for wear. Yeah, but it was all right. It tasted good. Still got a portion left in the fridge. Anyway, what would you cook him, John?
See, I wouldn't go down the obvious route, which would probably be like a Spanish meal or paella or something. Because obviously, it would probably be one of the worst paellas he's had, considering you would have had nice paellas before. But that's difficult because I like to cook seafood and those different things, but I just know it wouldn't be as good as what he's had. This is hard. Really, really difficult. See, I don't like traditional English food either, really. So I don't know.
What, like a good roast?
I think not for me.
That's not for you,
Yeah, well, I don't think he would like that. I don't know. Maybe
a nice bit of slow cooked lamb or something.
I mean, that I could do like a really bad what's it called? Beef bourguignon, is it? Beef bourguignon. Yeah, I can do that. I did that the other day.
Okay.
I was there putting the flour in the in my watery beef stock. So good. Yeah, no, I can do that. I'd probably do that. Yeah, a beef bourguignon and treat him to that. I think. Yeah, put some carrots in there and some potato and it could be foul, but hey, here you go. And I'll tell him like this is how it's supposed to be or something when it looks hideous.
That's maybe my pork mince on Saturday. No, it's supposed to be grey. Don't worry about it.
Supposed to be grey. It's supposed to be cold.
A couple of comments. Ham and pineapple pizza? Absolutely not. Carrots and broccoli? Yeah, good reference. Tombo says John just doesn't like food, which isn't true, is it?
Oh, that's not true. I've already eaten 3 times today.
Have you already?
Yeah.
Wow.
I have.
I've not eaten anything yet. I'm absolutely starving.
That's why I need to play football. That's kind of where I'm getting to. I'm eating too much these days. Now I need to, use those carbs. No, I can't eat less. That's not an option.
Okay.
I need to feel fulfilled.
And turkey dinosaurs and crisp sandwiches are probably more up your more my street. I was going to say for my culinary expertise. Let's go next to more World Cup chat, and we'll talk about John McGinn here because he's in the title. 36 minutes into this, Carlo Ancelotti says, "Thoughts on my World Cup watching? You often hear around the grounds the ironic chant of it's just like watching Brazil. I've said, is that how you? It's just like watching Brazil. I've questioned myself there. Not heard it for a long time.
Yeah.
I've certainly heard this at Villa Park in the past. It's just like, is it? It's
is
just like
it?
watching Brazil. That doesn't feel right to me.
It's got to be. Can't imagine how else you'd sing it.
I feel like I've got the tune wrong. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I've embarrassed myself.
I've never heard the chant, to be fair. If it's
No, I've not heard it at Villa Park for a long time. The question I have is, Carlo says, would this Villa team beat Brazil? I genuinely think we're better than them. It's an interesting state of the game with Premier League finances that the best national teams have players who play for middling Premier League clubs or worse, and we can compete with the best club teams on our day. Surely we'd have them, and watching Emery's Villa is better than the Brazil I watched last night. Yeah, Brazil didn't look great in that game with Morocco. And this is more of a different question, and I'll keep it Villa related. It's so hard, it's stupid even. How far do Villa go in a World Cup?
It's hard though, isn't it? Because we
club teams play together all the time, don't
they? You can't. Yeah. I think we could probably win it. Genuinely. Yeah. Because it
sounds stupid, but it's different, isn't it?
If you really look into it, it's like, yeah, you would have a good chance because you play with each other every week. You have a way of playing. You have a deep squad. You know, for example, I looked at I was about to say Valencia, the Ecuador team yesterday. They've got a great defence, but they've still got any Valencia up front. Brazil have got obviously some very good players, but clear areas where they're lacking. Same as the Dutch. Like this is just part of being in a national team. It's almost like it's kind of like what we've got. Well, not clear areas to improve, but there's obviously areas where you'd like to. But obviously, we can go in the transfer market. Well, we'd like to in the transfer market, whereas national teams can't. So, I got Brazil on my sweepstake, and my partner's dad would support them as well. So yeah, I know a little bit about the national team and the sort of vibe that they're in and stuff. It's always like excitement, but I think this year more than ever, it's like an acceptance that they're not one of the best teams anymore. Like they're fullbacks. What? They're not Brazilian fullbacks.
No, they won't win it.
They were without Wesley for injury, the right back, by the way.
Not the striker.
Right back from Roma, who I think we were looking at, weren't we? And is a good player. Played at the best squad as well last summer when we beat Roma. But
who? I don't know how much of the World Cup you've seen so far. Who you've been most impressed by?
I enjoyed the game yesterday, which was between
Netherlands and Japan.
Yeah. That was a decent game.
I didn't see any of that.
But no, I obviously missed quite a lot of games because they kick off at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. I watched the America game, USA game against Paraguay, and USA played well. But
yeah, you text me for that, didn't you? I forgot about that.
Paraguay
a text at 3 a.m. or something. Worst hate watch of all time.
I can't say that. We have a lot of US audience, man. You can't say that.
I can, because I did.
I can. No, I just like to see the underdog win games. There's nothing against the States. Genuinely, I just like to see. Like, if I'm going to stay up for a game, I don't want to watch. Like, for example, yesterday when Netherlands were beating Japan. I mean, it wasn't that bad because Japan are quite good anyway. But I'd rather see Japan win. You know, I'll always root for the underdog.
Root for Curacao, were you?
Yeah. Oh, right. So this was after I played football and was in an absolute state coming back. Come back, grab milk from Tesco, and then go upstairs, and then
what from Tesco? Sorry,
milk.
Okay.
It's irrelevant to the story, but I go upstairs and my partner's watching it on the screen.
Down the milk.
Doing work on it. And Curacao score. So I'm like, so I got run downstairs, flick it on, and then Germany equalised shortly after. And then they
went 1-0, did they? Oh, okay.
1-1. 1-0.
Oh.
But for them, that's massive. Same as Qatar against Switzerland. So there's been some decent moments so far, but it's just such a shame that the games are late. And I understand, like, not everyone should work on the European clock, but you know, not great.
Yeah, the people that are the kick-off times where it's good for them and it's usually rubbish. Like if you're in, I don't know, I'm going to embarrass myself here. I don't know times. If it's good for Australians, the World Cup, but the Premier League is rubbish for them. Like, this is good for them. Great.
Yeah, no, it's not. That's why I said it shouldn't revolve around Europe. But
yeah,
at the same time, I can't say I'm enjoying it because I'm missing half the games.
Yeah, I thought Morocco were good in their game against Brazil, but I don't think Brazil were very good.
Morocco are a decent side, and Brazil have got some great individual players. But yeah, I just feel like the round of 32 is probably when it's going to like really start, and that's when you can look into it, because you could lose. England could lose 6-0 to Croatia and still get through fine. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like
that would be bad though, wouldn't it? Well, no one would enjoy that. Well,
it would, but we'd forget about it if we then won. Well, we wouldn't forget about it. But the point being, like, there's no jeopardy in these groups. You're going to get through. Yeah, and that'll be that.
Have you seen Mick McCarthy's advert?
Yeah, you sent it to me.
Did I? I completely forgot about that. Yeah, that was good. Enjoyed that. Was there a question in there? Oh yeah, just about like how Villa do well in a World Cup, essentially. And I think
any club team, not any club team, most good club teams would.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of. Well, okay, let's non-Villa it then. What's the worst Premier League team of the season just gone that would go well? Like, would Wolves get to the semi-final?
No, hell no.
So go up from there. Palace?
I'd probably say no. I'd probably say Bournemouth.
Bournemouth. Well,
yeah, like it's still a relatively high bar. I don't say win it, by the way. I don't think Bournemouth would win the World Cup. I just mean they'd go far. Whereas I think, you obviously the further you go up the table, the more likely it is that you win it. For example, Arsenal would win the World Cup. I think City would probably win the World Cup because, again, you play with each other all the time.
How mad does this sound if you've only just tuned in, like that we've misunderstood what the World Cup
is? Mate, in 2048, maybe this will be a thing. So.
Oh God, I hope not. Okay,
by the way, can I just say, because I haven't heard it too much in the media, and we are not global reaching thing, but those water breaks in the first half and the second half are an absolute joke.
Yeah, not for me.
Yeah, and it didn't really hit me because obviously we're watching English, or you're watching ITV, BBC, so they don't put ad breaks in. But I'm assuming, because one of my mates said that will basically just be a billboard for adverts. And one of the American commentators said something like, "It's the end of the first quarter." No, it's not. It's not the first quarter at all. So at first it's like, they need water. But then the Netherlands game was closed roof, aircon, and they need a water
20
break.
degrees or something, wasn't it? They're too long as well.
It was 20 degrees in my house, and I didn't need water. Like,
how long is it to have a quick glug of water for 20 players? Like a minute.
It must. I assume, if American watchers, please leave in the comments. Like, are you being bombarded with?
Yeah. Mate, I've seen American too.
I assume that's normal. Though. I assume that's normal for American.
They're used to the American football, aren't they? Where there's a break in play every 30 seconds.
Yeah, but in football,
it's ridiculous.
I'm glad that we don't. Imagine if the BBC or ITV started putting adverts for whatever on the TV. That would be
obviously ITV couldn't they? Because BBC don't have adverts anyway, but they've chosen not to, which I think is the right decision.
Yeah, they get battered for it.
They're long enough. Is it like 3 or 4 minutes, and then it gets added on as well? So you're still playing the same amount of time anyway. Just pause the clock. Get it done in 60 seconds. It's not a tactical debrief, is it? Have a drink, get on with it. So it's for advertising. You will now see that in every game in that World Cup. It won't be like, oh, actually, it's not very hot today, so let's just get on with it. Because it's an ad break. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. World Cup studio for ITV, the World Cup studio. The ITV studio in New York is amazing, by the way. Have you seen that?
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah. Do you care that the BBC are sitting in a green screen in Salford?
Yeah.
Do you?
I do. I genuinely do. I do, because...
Does it make any difference that Ange Postecoglou is in New York?
Does. Yeah, to me, it actually does.
Does it?
Yeah, I'm usually quite like, save your carbon emissions and that, because I think it's a joke that people, I think it's a joke that teams fly to different games and stuff. So I would say that. But for a World Cup, you want to feel part of it. No, like when I watch the ITV coverage, I feel like, okay, like I'm almost among it. Like I'm happy to just watch. I watched the post-match stuff. Like yesterday, I started to talk about Scotland, and I was just watching it anyway. And I think that's probably because I can just see what's going on in the background. Like I enjoy that, and you feel immersed in it, especially when the kickoff times are so late and it's such a big tournament, and it feels a bit exhausting to actually be there. I think that's important. The BBC coverage, nothing against the presenters or the pundits or anything, but just the fact they're not there, and I don't know how much it would cost. Obviously, a lot, but yeah, like it does feel watered down and a bit. Nah.
Yeah.
Imagine if you're Mark Chapman or Gabby Logan, you're not at the World Cup because you've got to do it from Salford and everyone else is. Like, as well, from like your career perspective, that's also like,
yeah, I get rubbish. That side of it. Yeah, I mean, it's
or
difficult,
if you're
isn't
a pundit.
This is not kind of defending the BBC kind of thing, but obviously it's funded by the taxpayer. If they spent a fortune to go over there, they would get criticism for, why have you spent so much money to fly Wayne Rooney over there? Like, you could have done this in a studio. And they have done it in a studio, and it's why didn't you go out there? It's hard for them to win, I think.
Maybe it is, but from my perspective, anyway, like I don't know how much I'd have to pay more. I don't know, like 10p. I don't know. I have no idea. But I'd rather see them do it out there from a proper. But that's me.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're hit our 45-minute mark. There's one final thing I wanted to reference, and this is a nice little Easter egg message that was sent in from Guy Haslam. Not a real Easter egg, John, don't worry. I'm going to flash something on screen for those that are watching, but I'll describe it as well. Are you aware of, I'm sure you do, what a cryptic crossword is?
I know what a crossword is.
Okay.
It's a cryptic crossword.
Basically, the clues are like, you've got to work out the clue before you even write the word in. Do you know what I mean?
Like a harder version, yeah.
Yeah, 6 across, John Townley's surname. Said it. Townley, right? Easy. If it was like, what is the surname of the podcast host? Like, it's like you've got to work out what the clue is before you can even get the answer. Is my understanding of it. Anyway. Guy says, I thought you might be tickled by this. I write the Financial Times weekend crossword every Saturday. And as a lifelong Villa fan, I decided to mark our Istanbul victory by hiding a message in the crossword. I love this.
Great.
So he sent me the crossword, which I could fill out, but I'm too thick to do it. So he also sent me the answers as well. So I've got 2 screenshots that I'm going to flash on screen.
Needed.
So covers a bit of you there, John. There was a hidden message in there. I don't know. I'm going to give you 10 seconds to see it. And then I've got a version that's highlighted as well. So for those that are listening, it's a crossword. It's all been filled in with the answers. And there's a hidden message to Villa in there, which is great. I'm going to flash up the version for you, John. There it is. So on across from the letters that are irrelevant, basically, it says, well done, the Villa. Which is a really, really nice little nod that nobody probably spotted or cared about apart from Guy, and now us sharing it with the world.
Yeah, it's very good.
What a great job. That's part of your job, and you've gone, I'll stick that in there.
When did this go out?
I don't know. There's a link to it. It was something like crossword number 900 and something
I know,
in the Financial Times.
I know someone... Tom, who goes to the live shows and asked a question the other week. He tracks like different like paper prints and stuff and kind of keeps everything as memorabilia. And that's the kind of thing that like no one would. Do you know what I mean? But you've got the crossword for Istanbul as well.
It was no setup is complete, John. Your background and mine are without this Financial Times crossword. Apparently, it was published May 29th, so 9 days after we won it. I don't know what the clues. So I thought when I first read it in the mailbag that the clues were the answer, but it's like the inconsequential letters that map out each letter across each row, which is really nice. Yeah. So thanks, Guy, for sending that in. Yeah. If you can sneak in a message about like John Townley eats broccoli or something, send us that. Send us that next week.
It's hard to sneak that in.
That'd be great. Right, that'll do for this one, John. Thanks for your time as always. Thank you for everyone who tuned into this live, despite me bumbling my way through it. I appreciate your time as always. We'll be back on Wednesday with something, don't know what yet, and Friday we'll have fixture release date as well. My favourite day of the year. John, thanks for your time. Thanks everyone for watching or listening, and we'll see you Wednesday. Bye-bye.